let's do a Godspeed You Black Emperor tier list. Let's just get into it. Starting us off at the bottom, we got Yeah, Don't Bend, Ascend. Or Hallelujah, Don't Bend, Ascend. That album. Yeah, it's boring. Snooze. I caught Z's during this one, bro. 3 out of 10. Get out of my face. D tier. It's Slow Riot. Like, okay, here's the thing. Moya sucks. I hate that song, man. It's literally the worst parts of Lift Your Skinny Fist put into a song and just put as half of this EP. The other half of this EP, Blase, Bailey, Finnegan, like the third, that sounds like F sharp, A sharp. And that song is fantastic. I love that song. But Moya carries it down because it's literally half of the EP. Yeah, because of that, like because half of it sucks and the other half is really good, I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 to Slow Riot. Above it though, we got Luciferian Towers. Honestly, this could be below Slow Riot. I don't really remember much. It's fine. No, because I think Luciferian Towers is more consistent than Slow Riot. But I think Blase Bailey Finnegan is definitely better than everything on like Luciferian Towers. Honestly, dude, no. I'll keep Towers above it. Luciferian Towers, it's fine. It's alright. It's kind of boring. It's like a strong 5 to a light 6 for me. Nothing special. Above that though, we got Asunder. The one with like the song that's called like Cows or something, like the sheep song. I'm pretty sure the sheep on the cover. This one's fine too. I kind of like it. It was a good album from what I remember. See, here's the thing. I got into Godspeed when I was like listening to Swans, and since then, like I got to their last 2 albums and I stopped listening to them. And yet I still remember how I feel, which is kind of strange to me that I didn't have to respin everything, which honestly would have been a chore. So yeah, honestly, man, from what I remember, Asunder was all right. I thought it was good. It's a light 7. B tier, this is the one that I just most recently listened to. That's honestly, this could go in C tier. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's Godspeed at State's End. I always read it as End State for some reason. This one's good, you know. It's quality. I will say that. I think that what I like about more modern Godspeed is that they separate their songs from like big pieces into small parts. I will say I appreciate that. But like other than that, man, this album really doesn't have much going for it. It's I don't know, man. I don't really know how to put it, man. It's good. It's a good album. It's a strong 7 for me, man. That's all I really gotta say. And then going into B tier though, we got All Lights censored on the Harry Amp drooling. This one's weird, man. This is one of the weirdest Godspeed albums to me. I think that like it's kind of like, I don't know. There's something about it where it's like messy, but I appreciate it for that. I appreciate how kind of like bad the audio quality is. I like the weird singing with the freaking wacky lyrics that like caught me off guard off first listen. I don't know, man. This album's weird. It's really weird. It's like fragmented. There's certain like guitar sections. I think the last song is literally just, it closes with just wow, 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 wow. It's super weird, man. I appreciate it though quite a bit. It's a light 8 for me. I actually really enjoy this thing. It feels like I'm in like a dystopian future or something, like in the past. I don't know. Like this sounds like the Hallelujah cover, if that makes sense. B tier though. This is the big one, okay? This is the big one. I gotta explain myself because it's Lift Your Skinny Fist. This is one of the most overrated albums I've ever heard. Might be the most overrated album I've ever heard. Honestly, people say this is like the best album of all time. This is one of, if not the best album of all time. You got critics giving it 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, life-changing. When in reality, to me at least, half of this record is like filler and the other half is really good. Like, it's basically just best case scenario of Slow Riot where, like here's the thing. The opener, Storm, that song's fantastic, man. That song's so good. And then you have Static, though. And I'm like, no, that's a snooze. That's an absolute snooze. It's so boring, dude. It's just freaking ambient noise. I'm like, I'm falling asleep while I listen to it. And then friggin' sleep comes on and I wake up and I'm like, what? What is going on? Because that sleep, I'm pretty sure sleep is the third track. That's my favorite Godspeed song. It might be. It might be my favorite Godspeed song because it has one of the best crescendos in any song ever. Like just the crescendo, how it's like, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God, are they going to go any further? And they go further and they double down and it's fantastic. And then you end on the title track and I'm just like, okay. Like, here's the thing. As I said, half of this record is filler. The other half is fantastic. I don't know, man. It suffers from just, as I said, half of it being filler. Literally filler. Static is a filler song. It's like 20 minutes of my time wasted. And then Like Antennas to Heaven, that's just an okay song. Everything else, though, is fantastic, as I said. It's just boring at times, and to be honest with you, it's kind of pretentious, so I'm going to be completely honest. It's a strong 8 for me. It's still a really good album, but, like, it's not the best album of all time. Not even in my top 100 favorites, dude. Yeah. Above it, though, we have a better album that is super underrated. That's Yankee, UXO. Okay, there I zoomed out. But, yeah, Yankee is very good. I think it's super consistent. I think some of the droney segments, honestly, don't really bother me. I think it's definitely shorter than Lift Your Skinny Fist. That's another problem that I have with Lift Your Skinny Fist. It's literally like an hour and a half, and I'm like, no, please stop. But Yankee, it's decent length. It's like an hour, I think. I like the first track. I like the closer. I think it's pretty consistent. I don't really think there's any skips on here. I like every song. Yeah, it's a light 9 for me. I actually really like this one. And then S tier is F sharp, A sharp. This is one of the friggin' GOAT albums. This one's so good. This is easily Godspeed's best. I think that, I don't know why there's any conversation between this and Lift Your Skinny Fist. It's literally miles better than it. For one, it creates a fantastic atmosphere with Dead Flag Blues. Just, like, you hear it. I was listening to for the first time. This is the album that sold me on this band. This was the album that I was like, I need to listen to this band. And it was the friggin', the car is on fire and there's no driver at the wheel. And I was like, dude. And I like couldn't not listen to it with the violin. Ooh. Then East Hastings, fantastic song. Providence, fantastic song. Every song on here, at minimum, is a 9 out of 10. I don't even think that's a conversation. But I will say though, Providence kind of goes on for a little too long. Like there's an extra like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm like, stop. It goes on for a little too long for me. Other than that though, this album's a relentless 10. For a minute, I'd say it was like one of my favorite albums of all time. It's still like top 20, top 15 maybe. I'm kind of underrating it right now. But yeah, it's so good, man. Like I gotta listen to this again. Honestly, it's so good. So good. It's held up since first listen. Like this is the only album that's really held up since first listen. Yeah, as I said, 10 out of 10. And there's my Godspeed tier list. I don't think I'm not gonna get hate for the Lift Your Skinny Fist placement. Honestly, man, I find like All Lights to be more interesting than Lift Your Skinny Fist at times. I feel like it's so overrated, man. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, share your rankings as always. You know, tell me what's your least favorite Godspeed project, because I feel like everyone discusses their favorites, but no one talks about the least favorite. Yeah, share your rankings. Glad you made it this far. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.